Judah, let the lion roar. Hail, hail, Lion of Judah, let the lion roar. Hail, hail, Lion of...
Good day, good day. God Says Ministries, the House of Fire, and I'm Prophet Tavis. So, Uganda's next, and we've got less than a month to go, and I really believe God is going to do something brand new, out of the ordinary, and along with miracles, signs, and wonders in Uganda in the 2 months that we'll be there. Now, when I go to Uganda, excuse me, I always like to build something for the orphanage, which is orphanage come school, and there's borders there, very poor area. Uganda is very poor on its own. So I always like to build something when I go there. And in 2016, as I've told you before, with partners like you, we built a 100,000 liter water tank, underground, mostly underground, and some of it like a meter out of the ground. And that is working very well. And so whenever it rains, it catches off whatever comes off the main school roof. Now, the best part about the school building actually is the roof, and it's in tip-top shape. The brickwork is not the best brickwork, but it's strong enough, and it's still got some holes, so it's not plastered or anything like that. And there's no windows in the holes for where the windows are supposed to be, and there's no doors where the doors are supposed to be. They have subsequently put floors in it, concrete floors, but the best part was the roof. When I saw the roof there, I said, let's put some gutters on this roof, and because it's all around, it's pitched, and on the sides it's pitched like that. So you've got gutters that can go all around, catching, and that thing is about 40 meters long and 20 meters wide, maybe even longer. And it catches all off that roof, which it did after they completed it completely. It filled up on 2 days, full to the top, 100,000 liters. Excuse me, I don't know what's going on with my... Got a frog here. The second time I went, in 2018, I built a concrete dining table for the children outside, and I put a little veranda, sort of concrete floor around the kitchen serving area, and I built a little serving table there, and I painted Daniel and the Lion's Den on one of the school walls. So that was the second time I went. Then the third time I went, in 2019, I took a oil hand pump and with me, the bits and pieces, modified it, and I fitted it to the 100,000 liter water tank, because they were bucketing with a rope out of the tank, so that they could pump the water out of the tank. So it took me a full day to chip with a piece of iron that I sharpened and a hammer to chip through the wall, which was, when I got them to make it 400, no, it was more, nearly 500 thick walls in it. So it took me nearly a day to chip a hole through to put the pipe through. And I had brought non-return valves and elbows and whatever. So this trip, I want to build it's not going to be the main thing I'm there for. And the main thing I'm there for is to pour petrol on the fire. Pour the petrol on the fire. And see what God has got to say through the prophetic and preaching and whatever. But I'm there for 2 months, so basically what I wanted to build is something that's very, very, bad sketch. But anyway, something like this, where I'm going to use a plastic 244 gram drum, and then gravity feed That on top will be pipes. Oops, I'm in the wrong place here. Pipes, and this would be the top view of it. The pipes will zigzag across it with holes in them, and then we drip feed plants that I've bought, planters in plastic planters to start them off with, and this will all be made out of poles. But I mean, they get like 6 meter poles. These black wattle trees that go straight up. They sell those. So the whole thing made out of poles. That's where I'm using not nails. I'm using zip ties to build this whole thing together. That's why I've got so many zip ties and getting some more. And then of course the structure, to put it to 200 liters. So it's only 200 kilos on top of 4 poles, and then a little ladder to fill it up. So basically that's my idea. That they could then have a seedling area where they could grow their seedlings, fruit trees and all that sort of stuff. Plus I'm taking over green peppers, which are red and yellow, and when they turn red, but you can eat them green as well, sweet peppers. And so I've bought with money that's come in already, some money that's come in already, I've bought like 100 of these small ones, and then I've got right up to 8 liters. They are black planting bags, and what I've done to help me out is basically there's a tap that'll go onto the drum, so the water can open it. Once you fill it up, you can open it, let it flow, or shut it off if you don't want to carry on flowing. And then I bought a number of joints, angles, and T pieces, and just a number of them, just to get the piping system to go along the top. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to just drill holes in the pipe, small holes that it feeds out, because we're gravity feeding, and the little spray heads, the little drip heads need about a bar, and we won't really have a bar there. But it'll work because it's falling like a shower from the top. So that's what I want to do at the orphanage, so that they have an area to keep their seedlings and grow them in a protective area, that the chickens and the cows and the goats don't eat them, and they can be looked after and be in bags, and they can grow their fruit trees and everything to a certain size, and then plant them in the ground. So that's exactly what we're looking at doing as far as building wise there. I don't know what God's plans are as far as building wise there, but this is what I'm looking at doing, so they have a place to keep seedlings and grow seedlings and grow fruit trees and everything like that, ovo trees and stuff like that. That's extra food for the children at the orphanage and the school. So that will be basically the finance side. That's why I say it's about to build the whole thing, probably about 15,000 rand, about $1,000 at the end of the day. So we have some stuff already. You saw in the previous little video I did, I had bought 6 bags of 100 zip ties. I'm going to looking at it now. I'm putting it maybe another 6. I have all the little adapters, plastic, so it's light in my bag. And I have bought some bags to start them off with, from this size upwards to 8 kgs, or 8 liters as they say. So basically I'm just going to stop, zigzag the pipe across the top so it's above my head height, then it'll be above most of their head heights then. And just punch holes in it, small holes in it, so just you can stand on the outside and turn the tap on, the whole place gets soaked, and then turn it off. Then they're able to fill the tank again with buckets, and it's not a big tank, so it's like 200 liters, which is ample for their summer or their time when their dry time is, that they could keep seedlings going in it. The wet season, we wouldn't have to worry about filling it up because it'll be wet most of the time. The growing season. Yeah, so that's the building side of things, and we're going there to, as I said, I carry the fuel. Where I see a flame, I pour fuel on it, turn it into inferno, and we see what God is doing, what He did in India. We couldn't move around much in India because this wasn't the right time of the year. It was too damn hot. So next time in India, if God opens the door, which I believe He will, but I'm hoping to get back next year, October, November, when there's a winter time, then we can do a lot more of the preaching, evangelism, and prophetic prophesying side, and we can actually move around the place without dying of the heat exhaustion. And yeah, but Uganda is not as hot as India, so the max you're looking at 30, 32, 34 maybe. But it's not all the time like that. But India was every damn day. And yeah, so we're probably going to be doing a lot of praying for people, a lot of teaching, a lot of preaching, a lot of evangelism, all over the place, and the big conferences coming up, and that's the main thing. But in my downtime, when I'm at the orphanage where I stay there sometimes, I'd like to build over the 2 months finish building this nursery basically for like a greenhouse, but it's not really a greenhouse. But I mean like a greenhouse that we can grow seedlings and they don't get eaten by the animals that are around. And we can do a compost heap next to it and things like that. Then we can feed the seedlings and get them going. It's nice and strong. When they're nice and strong, get them in the ground, and then the children have some, and of course the community around there then have some alternate food supply. Anyway, that's Uganda, and kind of looking forward to it. And I know God is going to be doing glory, just glory, fire and glory. Going to try and take my prophetic staff with me. As I showed you the last time, I've made up some shofars, shorter than my kudu horn back there. They can go into the bag, and along with all these bits and pieces in my bag. And Uganda, I'm going to take a lot less clothes with. So, yeah. As I said, those who want to be a part of this, I'm an open book. This is what I want to achieve there physically, physically wise. This little seedling enclosure, so we can grow the seeds and fruit trees without them getting eaten. But the rest of the time it will be preaching and teaching and prophesying. The rest of the time. That will be most of the time. Other than my off days, I'll be fiddling with this, setting it up. So you want to be involved? People? $12, $10, $5. It all adds up at the end of the day. And, as I said, we need to get to around about $1,000 over this period of this month to make sure that we've got all these items, plus because I need to buy the poles there, plus I wanted to buy some bags of rice and beans for the children as well, so they because now they're normally eating maize meals, like a stiff porridge. It looks like concrete in your hands. That you use beans and you dip it in the bean sauce and eat it. So it's just this heavy protein starch thing. And of course the beans are the protein, and this is starchy thing to fill you up. But rice is always a good thing for them. They think it's Christmas when they get rice to eat. They dance around and all happy. joyful when they got rice, other than eating the same stuff over and over again. So as I said, I wanted to get a couple of bags of rice and a couple of bags of beans for them, and so maybe a bag of sugar and salt and stuff like that. So that's why I said about $1,000 at the end of the day we need to come in. Anyway, God bless you all. May His favor drip from every part of you. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.